I'm
taping over.
Good morning, Chaverim. Are you living the Torah? Are you in it? Are you in it?
Yes.
No. Guys, I want to tell you something. Where is that dibur? I'm trying to take out a dibur where it's written. I think it's Rabbeinu, but it could be Rav Nosson. I'm going to check. It's one of the two. That they were involved in a certain, avoida and mitzvah or something. And he said, if you're not fat, if you have hitbodedut on what you're doing, I'm jealous. If not, I'm not jealous.
Rabbi Natan.
Yeah. It's Rabbi Natan, no? It's Rav Nosson.
I think Rabbeinu said that to Rabbi Natan. No?
Either way, if we're learning the Torah here, it's meant to be with hitbodedut together. Torah and tefillah biyachad. So I want you, I beg of you, to try to internalize these concepts. Think about them during the day. There's a lot of downtime. What are you thinking about in your downtime? I want you to be thinking about Torah Zayin. I want that Torah Zayin should be your go-to. I want that I tell you, give me the mahalach of Torah Zayin. You gotta have it like this. Because you won't be able to do hitbodedut on it if you don't have it like this. You understand, Chaim? And I want you, please, kotzer and enozorea, if you plant and you don't, if you plant and you don't come and cut the harvest, what did you do? You wasted your time. If you don't chazer, Chazal say it's like planting and not harvesting. So we're learning together. But there's shtay mikra v'echad targum. We learn the Torah together in the tzibur. We learn it together. We hear the parsha Monday, Thursday, Shabbos, twice on Shabbos. But there's shtay mikra v'echad targum. You got to do it yourself during the week 3 times. Twice in Hebrew, once in Aramaic. Rabbi Natan says on this. There's 2 types of avodah. There's avodah b'tzibur, and there's avodah personal. One without the other doesn't work. But you notice that the personal avodah is even more in time than the private and than the communal avodah. The communal avodah, how much can we be together? 20 minutes, half an hour, another half an hour Gemara, 1 hour together. It's great. It's great. But there's 23 hours in the day. So you have to have some time where you're back in these subjects. He sent yesterday Chaim. Did you see the test of Dirshu, what they did? Did you see that 1,500 Talmidei Chachamim came? And they got tested on from the beginning of Shas. Some on Halacha, some on Shas. Meaning what we're doing now, imagine you put another hour every day. Not a half an hour shir, you put in another hour. You get it. You write notes. You put in your pocket. And then 2 weeks later you go for a test. And then, since you have it in your pocket, another 3 months later you do a test again on the same material. You can actually, so that takes time. I'm not saying you have 10 hours a day. Some people have 10 hours a day, that's what they're doing. That's why they can test on half the shas, 3/4 of the shas. But you see that the review of the material is the full success of the project. Not the first coat. A first coat of paint gives a good, but the nice room is when you did 2 or 3 coats. Understand? So even the Torah of the Rebbe, I'm going to keep drilling this in, because I want you to, because this is what Rabbeinu wanted. He wants that these concepts should be your lifeline for 3 months. We have now this month, Cheshvan. We're going to have Kislev. We're going to have Tevet. We're going to be in this 3 months. We're going to finish soon. Another week we're going to get through the Torah. Once we get to the Torah, we're going to start again the Torah. But I want you to have time in the day to read Torah Zayin again and again. What's Aleph? What's Bet? What's Gimel? What is it? What is that concept? Let me look up that Gemara. Let me see how it intertwines. 1 second, I have a problem. I have a kushya. When you start having kushyot, you're in a great place. When you start to be bothered by something, I understand, doesn't make sense. That's really, you're starting to unlock the Torah. And then the answers that we're going to find together, that's the Rebbe giving us winks, sending us loot bags. But then, once you have it, once you have the Torah in your pocket, so like we said, you're going to go to Bodedut. I don't know what to speak. You have what to speak. Because just start thinking about the Torah. Do you have pity on Am Yisrael? Do you have pity on them? People are involved. You're living a great life, right? You went to the mikveh today. You prayed shachit today. You put Rashi Rabbeinu Tam today. You give tzedakah. You sit in the shiur and the Gemara and this and that, and you dance after the tefillah and you give tzedakah. You're a billionaire. But you have people that are suffering. How can you be eating at your Shabbos table when the guy's poor? The guy doesn't have what to eat on Shabbos. It's the same thing. How can you be sitting here when the people outside are living a life of Ginam, 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 Ginam? Somebody who's about Tshuva, somebody who was on the other side and understands the Ginam that it is, the emptiness that it is. So now, if you realize that that's what the Rebbe is saying, so now your Bodedut is different. Because now you're praying for Am Yisrael like Moshe Rabbeinu prayed for Am Yisrael. Now the Rachmanut that you have is coming alive in your Bodedut. And if you don't feel pity for them, that's when you start to say, Ribono Shel Olam, how could I be so grob? How can I have such a klipa around my heart that I feel no sensitivity towards Am Yisrael, what they're suffering for? Moshe Rabbeinu was chosen because he went out of Mitzrayim and he saw the tsar of the cloud. That happens in the Bodedut. All of this becomes alive in the Bodedut. First step, learn it again, learn it again, learn it again, learn it again. Has to be like, you know how to drive home from work? You know your phone number? Has to be like that. And then you're going to start to see problems, and you start to have chidushim, and you're going to see Likouté, and you're going to see how Rabbi Natan prays for it. Oh, now, and the chidushim are the way of the Rebbe giving you a wink, and giving you a karvut. Because if you learn the Torah 100 times, each time there's going to be something else which is coming more alive. The Rebbe's dealing with you through his Torah. Then the Bodedut. So then every day, if you give some time to pray for it, pray for the other things you have to pray for. But give some time in the Torah Zayin. And then the Torah Zayin, you become Torah Zayin. You're a living Torah Zayin. And if you do it with Torah Vav and Torah Hey and Torah Daled, then you're living all these Torahs. The real Breslevers, they lived with all the Torahs. So you see, they're walking Likouté Moharan. Everything about them is what Rabbeinu said. They're a pirush of the Likouté Moharan. When you see them, they're a pirush of it. Because they didn't just, they made it one. The Torah and the Tefillah brings it alive. That's why if we learn it without getting it, it's great. But it's missing. If you learn this just hearing a shul, it's one thing. But if you take time every day, that this is your project, this is your limud, this is your chassidut, then you know the Torah. Then if you add the bodedut on it, then it's transforming, it's life changing. And that's why if you don't have the bodedut on it, it's not much to be jealous about. Because it's all in theory, and we want to get to practical. So that's why we keep going back to the beginning to the end, and the end to the beginning. Amanik has to be Rahman. Rahmanut means saving people from what is the worst thing that could be. It's being far from Hashem through sin. You can only save a person if you empower him with knowledge to understand the purpose of his life and the mercy that God has in him, and that he can fix and that he can come close as he is. This ultimate job is Moshe Rabbeinu, and he's the one that really gives dat. So make sure you get the dat from Moshe Rabbeinu. But once you got the dat from Moshe Rabbeinu, you can be a ring in the chain to give over the dat to other people. Now you give over the dat to others. When you give over the dat to others, they're like your children, they're like your talmidim, and they get dat from you, and also your physical children, your real talmidim. When you do that, if you do that, see, that's why I'm skipping now, because Rabbeinu put something in, but I'm skipping. The way to do that properly is to have Yirat Shamayim. If you don't have Yirat Shamayim, the dibur doesn't go to the next guy, doesn't stay with him, doesn't change him. If you do have Yirat Shamayim, it changes him. Second is that if you want to get that, you have to go to somebody with Yirat Shamayim. Because what did Rabbeinu say? If there's no Yirat Shamayim, it doesn't go in the heart. So that means if things don't go in my heart, the guy I'm listening to doesn't have Yirat Shamayim. So if you want to get the message of that, go to somebody who has Yirat Shamayim. That's it, that simple. Better a person that's holy, holy, holy to give you a message. Even if he says it so simple, there's no chidush, it doesn't matter. It goes in the heart, if he's pure. Then Rabbeinu says, if you did that, and you gave it over, even after 120 years, you're still in the world, you're still here. You're still here because you're continuing through the people that are living the message that you gave. That's what we said. Then we said, in Ot Vav, where we're holding now, now here's the benefit of doing this. Because when you empty up what you know, you get a new download. Anything you know, anything you're living, anything pnimi by you, that's called pnimi, that you got it. How do you get something new? By giving over what you know. So if you worked on your purity, you went to the mikveh, you went to shachit, you woke up chatzot. Chaver ani lekol asher yiraucha, David HaMelech says. I'm a friend to anybody who has yirat shamayim. Chatzot layla akum le'odot mishpatei tzitecha. Chatzot layla akum le'odot mishpatei tzitecha. I wake up at chatzot. Chaver ani asher lekol yirucha. I'm a friend to everybody who got shamayim. From here, the Bresler would say that chatzot can only be done with friends, because it's really hard to get out of the bed in the middle of the night. It's very hard. You don't have brains. But if there's a group of people, one day you have idoriyut, one day you have a koach, but the next day you might have the koach. But if we're a group doing it, so somebody's always going to have the koach. So you're going to get me out of bed by calling me or telling me you're waiting for me because we're doing it together. Even if we don't meet together, the fact that you call me and I know we're in a group together, chatzot is with a group. That's what the Bresler used to say. But you also say, see from here, that the yirat shamayim comes from chatzot. Chatzot, it's written in Halacha, everybody has yirat shamayim should wake up chatzot. So from here you see that if you wake up chatzot, you have yirat shamayim. Understand? Certain things that a person who wakes up chatzot, his message goes in. Somebody who's shomer abrit, his message goes in. So if you have all that avodah, and then you give over messages to people, you, like we said yesterday, use the opportunities you have in your day to give over things of yirat shamayim. And you know which ones you should really be giving over? This one. Because that's what you're living. That's the internalized by you. So a Bresler, Rav Kenning, I would see, I promise you, it was something to see. When he was living a Torah, everything he would speak to everybody all the time was that Torah. Now you wouldn't know it. I would translate for him. So a guy comes in, he has problems with Parnassah. So he starts to tell him the Yetzot of Parnassah based on the Torah he's learning. He's going to a shul now to speak. He sees that there needs to be a chizuk in something. He takes another part of the Torah and says the chizuk over there. His personal avodah, what he was working on, and I would hear he'd do it sometimes in the car. It was always on the Torah. The whole 3 months was the Torah, all the answers in the Torah. If you come to me with a problem during these 3 months, I don't know anything. But Rabbeinu has everything for you. So I just got to give you over what I'm living right now. So if you give over the divrei of the Torah of the tzaddik, which is the yirat shamayim, you get a new musag. That's what he's saying here. What's makif for you, we couldn't figure out. I can't figure out a part of the Torah. Don't get it. Give over what you know. What you have clear, give it over. And then you're going to get a new download. So the way to continue to get a new asaga, a new makif, is always by giving over. That's what we said yesterday. The tzaddikim are rushing to teach people. Rushing to mekare people. Don't think by holding back yourself and being isolated, you're going to grow more. False. The more you're going to, Moshe Rabbeinu was for all of Am Yisrael teaching everybody, and he got all the Torah. So that's what we're saying. Now that's to bring in a makif. And this is the most pleasurable thing you could have, and we're going to see later in this oath that the Tanug of Gan Eden, what is Gan Eden? What is next world? It's Hasagot. It's another knowledge of Hashem, another Chidush. The knowledge of Hashem, the wisdom of Hashem is one with Hashem. It's Hashem himself. So every new asaga that you get in Torah and Avodat Hashem is knowing Hashem. That is the ultimate pleasure. So the next world is only makifin. So here also you get makifin, but there also you get makifin. So let's read this together inside. Second paragraph in Vav. V'yesh kama b'chinot makifin. There are a few levels of makif. Ki ma shemakif lezeh hu b'chinat psi. We read this. I'm skipping a little bit lower. Because we said that everybody's on a different level. And that means for me, I just don't get it. But by you, it's so simple, it's pnimi, and it could not even pnimi. It could be something that's not even on your radar, that you have to think about it, that it's knowledge. It's second nature. V'ken nimala, I'm over here. Nimala kol echad lefi b'chinato madrigato. I'm in Ot Vav, the second paragraph, maybe 7-8 lines. Nichnas makif shelo lifnim. על ידי שמדבר עם חברו ותלמידיו מכניס בו דעתו. By speaking to your chaver in Yirat Shamayim, by speaking sichot chaverim, so important sichot chaverim. But the sichot chaverim should be of Yirat Shamayim. There's room for midei shtuta, but go use it to get to Yirat Shamayim. Everybody gets the makif. Look at the way that Rabbeinu says this in the pasuk. וזהו כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד. בפיך ובלבביך לעשותו. This is a pasuk saying in Varim, don't think the Torah is so hard. It's not so hard. לא מעבר לים, לא בשמיים היא. It's impossible, this Torah. It's a beautiful pshat. The Torah is so hard. How can I understand these things? It's just above me. Torah says, don't think that. It's not across the ocean. It's not in heaven. You have to go get it. כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד. It's very close to you. בפיך ובלבביך לעשותו. In your mouth, in your heart, to do it. What in the world is that telling me? The Torah seems impossible. It's right there next to you, in your mouth, in your heart. How? How? Look what he says. כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד. היינו, נקרב אליך הדבר שהוא בחינת מאוד. There is something which is called מאוד. בחינת מקיפין. Great, much. Shem, מאוד is the makif. It's out of reach. No, קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד. שהם נעלמים רחוקים מאוד מן האדם. לקרבם אליך נכניסם בפנים. You want to get more? זה תלוי בפיך ובלבביך. It's in your mouth and in your heart. לעשותו. בפיך ובלבביך זה בחינת פי ידבר חוכמות והגות ליבי תבונות. Again, the psukim that we said before, Rabbeinu is bringing them back again now. Rabbeinu said the pasuk, picha, what did he say? Pi yedaber chokhmot, my mouth will speak my wisdom. Vagut libi tvunot, and my mouth is going to give over the thoughts, the discernment, the bina in my heart, in my mind, tvunot. What did we say over there? That's the way that Rashi Tevot is chalifot. Chalifot, pi yedaber chokhmot, vagi libi tvunot. The way to get a talmid is a chalipin. I'm going to leave this world after 120, Bezrat Hashem, long healthy life for all of us. Then, but you're going to have a chalipin, you're going to have a kid, and you're going to have students. Why? Because I gave over picha, I gave over, what did I give over? Pi yedaber chokhmot. My mouth spoke out my chokhmah, my wisdom. Hagut libi tvunot. My mouth spoke over the thoughts in my mind, my tvuna, my bina. I gave it over. So I'm going to have a replacement. I'm going to have a successor. But here, Rabbeinu is bringing the same pasuk. That successor causes me to have a new makif. Why? Bepicha ubidvavecha nasoto pi yedaber chokhmot. My mouth, which is giving over my chokhmah, my heart, which is giving over my bina, my mouth, which is giving over the bina in my heart, vagudi bitvunot, hainu shigale chokhmot tvunato letalmidav. Zeu lasoto karov alecha davar meod. You're going to get the me'od. It's karov, it's easy. It's easy. Lasoto. What do we say lasoto? Pchinat ki'ilu asao. We said before that a Bennett Hamid is one thing. You have to give over your knowledge to your son. You have to give over your knowledge to your student. But guess what? When you teach to a student, you made the student. Kol amen, Rabbeinu said before, Kol amen ben Torah, ben chaverot Torah, ki'ilu asao. Since Rabbeinu said that a person is wisdom, a body is not wisdom. So you can have a guy without wisdom. It's like an animal. It's like an animal that looks like a man, but it's an animal. If you give him that, the guy was an animal before. Now you made him a tzaddik in the Bet Midrash. He's doing avodat Hashem. You made him a person. So who made him? The father or the chaver that spoke to him Yirat Shamayim? You gave a dibur chizuk to the person. All of a sudden you switched him. You created his body. Because his body wasn't a human body, it was an animal body. You made him a human. So that's what it says. La soto, you're making people with your dibur Karov anecha davar me'od me'od. All this is merumaz there, so and fits very well with the simple pshat of the Torah. The simple pshat of the Torah says, don't think it's so hard. You can do it also. How can I do it? Very easy. How can you get these things which is out of reach? There's so much wisdom, so much Torah. How did you get so much Torah? What I knew, I gave it. I gave over Mirat Shamayim. I gave over Chidush. It's a chavruta also. You have a chavruta. You're sitting and learning with him. You know how much you gain from a chavruta? Sometimes you're learning alone. You're missing. You see with the chavruta, we're going to learn the Torah together. I'm giving over my sech and my chidush, my dad. All of a sudden, I'm getting more. Havatia says over here, we're going to see it later, that you're giving over something to you that's clear. When you really got it, that's the inyan of working and figuring it out and aman, and it's clear to me, then you give it over. When it's still in makif and you're giving over a makif, you're not going to get a new makif. The pnimi, you can share an idea. I have this idea, I don't know where I'm going with it. I have a feeling.
It's better to do it or not to do it. It's better not to do it.
It's not bad, but it's not as a halakha. I'm not giving you halakha. I'm giving you a feeling which I might say. What are we saying now over here? It's easy to grow. It's easy to get musagim. It's easy to fill up the mind with next level, next level, next level. Have pity on others. Share what you know. Share with it. If a guy wants to hear, share it openly. If a guy doesn't want to hear, be chacham how to give over some edges of chizuk. Chazak